What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. The Mythical Fusion is now live in the game. I think they did a solid job with this, not putting any really OP champions in there. Champions worth sacrificing, I guess I should say, for lack of better words. I don't have all of the champions yet, but when I do, I'll definitely fuse it. I feel like this is pretty accessible for most longtime players. People just getting started, obviously they'll have a ways to go with that and should probably be working on, the other permanent fusions, trying to get those arbiter missions done or what have you. But I think they did a great job, putting this together, selecting champions. I think all in all, well done, player. I don't think you would want to fuse either of these Legos and not fuse the mythical champion. That was my biggest concern, was that they would put legendary champions in here that are better than the mythical and have people not even want to fuse the mythical. So I think they definitely selected two champions. You're not really going to, miss on your roster too much. Obviously, faction guardians are helpful, but I think that most people will choose to fuse into the mythical champion rather than just fuse the legendary for their faction guardian. I doubt they allow us to fuse more than one copy, similar to other fusions, traditional fusions. You can fuse them one time. As it says up here, the mythical can only be fused one time, so I'm going to assume that these champions can only be fused one time as well. Now, is the champion actually worth it? Is the mythical, crazy at all? That stands to be seen, right? The kit obviously is pretty loaded. There's a lot of things that I do like about the kit. For example, she does not take that many books, and you're only booking cooldowns on 2 skills. She only needs a book here for 1 cooldown, and on the transformation as well, only needs a book here for this cooldown. All of the other skills, you're only booking an opportunity for her to ignore resistance. You get a little bit of damage there, but doesn't seem like we're going to be building this champion for damage. So I think, as a mythical fusion, a fusion that is accessible for the player base, accessible, I think that this is a solid champion to have. It's not going to cost you a ton of mythical books to, get her going. And you don't actually need to book this champion other than booking the cooldowns. So I think that is a solid job done on their part, because people are going to want to be able to use her to her full potential and not having to actually book the champion to do that, right? Obviously, you want to be able to ignore some res that helps you with building accuracy on the champion. But otherwise, I think you don't actually need to book her, right? You could book the cooldowns, but other than that, solid, right? The kit is also pretty solid, has an ally attack. Also, teams up with Shadowkin on the A1, similar to how Marishka teams up with Taras on the A1, or whoever else is on the team is definitely going to team up with the A1. I think that is solid for sure. Also going to place a shield on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns every time she does the A1. The A2 is okay. It's nothing crazy. And the passive is not crazy either. I wonder if this will remove sheep. I doubt it, since sheep is a protected debuff, but we'll see. At the transformation though, A1 sleep, A2 stun, A3 increase accuracy and weaken. It is, solid. Also removes all buffs from all enemies, so you got a strip in there as well. The thing that I really like about this champion's kit is that they have 100% chance to do all of these things, right? So 100% chance to do everything. There is a rework coming to sheep, so maybe this champion will be, pretty viable in arena, but we'll see. And this passive is okay as well, for arena, decreasing the turn meter of the DPS by 15%, kind of throws off the speed tune a bit, so could be helpful. All in all, I think this is a well-balanced champion, could be beneficial for people, mostly in PvE. I don't see this champion being like a PvP god or anything like that, but definitely a well, thought out champion to provide for people. It doesn't require many resources. A lot of these, champions people should have on their accounts. You might have a few here and there that you need to get, but Solid. We also have some other news as well. There is a 10x coming. We have a 10x for Torgon that can join, Elva Autumnborn, Bad Elkazar, Underpriest Brogni, Skytouch Shaman, Yugo Trumbor, and Doom Priest. There will also be 3x Reflex event coming, 3x for Fire Knight Savage set coming, and 3x for Speed set coming from Dragon. So some opportunities to get some better artifacts coming and some better champions. Some of these champions are, great, and some are, not so great. I would say the two standouts for me are definitely going to be Elva. For sure, Elva's an amazing champion. You can pretty much use her everywhere. Solid support. She's got heals, veil, a cleanse, block debuffs, increase speed, single target revive, and of course a passive, So solid champion. I really enjoy using her in hard ice golem. You can use her in arena, use her pretty much anywhere you need as a support. She is great. Also Yugo, which I would love another copy of. Great epic champion, epic and legendary skin, as we say. Got a leech A1, decreased defense, block buffs A2, a cleanse and a heal on the A3. Only removes, one buff, but still a solid, skill. And of course a conditional revive where she'll place block damage on herself and then revive the team. Solid champion for sure. One of my favorite Hydra champions, probably one of the best Hydra champions. Very real, well-rounded kit. Some of the other champions are, okay, for sure. This Void legendary, what's his name? Torgrim, the conjoined. He does have an okay-ish kit. It's not, entirely what I would want to see for a Void legendary. It is okay. 20% chance to apply a buff spread effect, taking one random buff from each ally and placing it on all allies. That's like okay. I don't know where you would 100% need that unless, he can buff spread, stone skin or something like that. I don't know. He does have an increased speed here with a heal, and plays a continuous heal on all allies whose current HP is below 50% after the initial heal. So that is okay. I would have liked to seen the increased speed be with the turn meter boost that his A3 brings. So like, give me turn meter boost with increased speed and not separately. But he does have turn meter boost on his A3. Also places increased accuracy on all allies for 2 turns. Then removes all debuffs from all allies. So he has a cleanse here. Doesn't give you, block debuffs with the cleanse, but, it's okay. I think for a Void legendary, though, if he's cleansing, he should be placing block debuffs, right? We don't really want cleanse champions that don't place block debuffs. That's kind of a thing of the past. Like, at this point, you need to cleanse and place block debuffs. His passive ability increases his own max HP 10% every time he uses an active skill. And he is an attack-based champ, only has, one ability where he actually attacks. So I guess this just really helps him sustain. He doesn't have like a revive or anything like that. So, in the short term battles, I don't know like how much you actually benefit from using this, since like, yeah, he has survivability, but he's not providing a ton for the team. So not the best Void legendary for sure. He is a newer champion as well. Other champions that we have that we could take a look at really quickly. Bad L, still a solid champion for sure. A lot of people don't need him much anymore, but he is still a solid champion for progression in dungeons. Amazing. Underpriest Brogni. I don't know where people are going to be using their Brognis at this point since the Cadaver nerf. Brogni still has a very well-rounded kit. You can still use him like as a support. He still has a great shield. Still has decent multipliers on these abilities if you need him to do a little bit of damage. HP burn on the A1 is helpful against bosses, especially in Doom Tower. Good for wave clearing if you're not using a seer team and you just you're still progressing, right? Brogni is amazing for progression, but in the end game he kind of falls off now because he just can't really be used. He's so easy to counter in arena as well. So He's still solid. Kid is still solid, but man, I'm honestly not that happy about the Cadaver nerf. Sky Touch Shaman, solid cleanser for sure. I used to use Sky Touch a ton in Arena, so solid cleanse champ, but she does place fear on herself at the start of the turn, so the cleanse is a gamble. You do have to gamble with that. And we have Trumbor and Doom Priest, who are also, decent champions in their own right. But that is the news, guys. That is what's going on in Raid this week. Hopefully, you all be able to pick up some decent gear from these events. And thank you guys for watching as always. Let me know what you think about the new Mythical Fusion. I know a lot of people are gonna be like anxious to just get it over with. You're gonna see people getting it, you're gonna want it, and then I don't know. She could very well not be used at all. I don't know, right? But let me know what you guys think about it for sure. I plan to fuse it when I can. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush, honestly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching as always. Thank you for your support. And until next time, guys, be good and be well.